What is happening, DJ Talk family? How you all doing this evening? First of all, I'd like to welcome you guys to the 40th episode of DJ Talk. Now, before we get started, I would like to send a shout out to everyone that is doing great and hope you guys can continue to do great and be great also. Do be more than just good, but be great. I know we just passed by the daytime, but you're gonna know the old saying goes, every day is a new day. So let's continue to be great. Don't just be good. Let's be great. Let's keep doing it. So if you're new to this channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the bell for notifications, and stay tuned for more to come. What I mean by that, I'm talking about more content coming up, everything great coming up. Man, I'm just looking forward to it. And not only that, but I'm happy and pumped up for that. I know you guys are too. So stay tuned for more of that. So if you guys haven't heard the last episode, it was a moment of focus. But in my opinion, it was a great episode. That's all I could say about that. It was a great episode and very inspiring also. So make sure you guys go check that out. So with that being said, without any further ado, let's get right to it. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to put the cause into the effect. Wow, new topic. Something new that we're going to keep bringing in DJ Talk podcast. We're going to keep bringing it every time we do it. And this is something big, but not only that, but this is something amazing. So new topics are coming up continuously in DJ Talk. Before I talk about the topic, it's almost here, 1 year of me doing this. So stick around. 1 year anniversary is coming up soon. But anyway, back to the topic. Some of you may have a question of how to put the cause into the effect. And the question is, how do you do that? And you know what? That is a great question. It means one or more things happen as a result of something else. A cause is the catalyst, a motive, or an action that brings about reaction or reactions. A cause instigates an effect. An effect is condition, occurrence, or result generated by one or more causes. Effects are outcomes. Or effect is an outcome. Now keep that in mind. A cause is a catalyst. And not only that, a cause instigates an effect. That is a very interesting part that we got to pay attention to. Now, keep it in mind, effects are outcomes. There are multiple key steps on how to put the cause into the effect, and we are going to start it off with the first one, brainstorm. Brainstorming is very important. So sometimes we need to use that a lot of times. So sometimes we want to brainstorm about everything. If you have an idea and you want to create something, write something, make something, read something, do something that will work in your favor or anything else, you got to do that. And you know what they say? It's time to brainstorm. In other words, you have to use your brain and put it to use in order to make your ideas work. And not only that, but you want to come up with a game plan and execute it with perfection. That's what it is. That's what we got to keep doing. We got to keep that up. And like I said before, it's time to brainstorm. Number two, think. Have you ever heard of this expression before that says something like this? Think outside the box. I know I've said it many times in this podcast, I think I said it once before, but that's what we have to do is think outside the box. Well, when it comes to this life, we definitely have to think before we actually do something. Think before we react to certain things that are surrounding us. Think before we go and approach the people that we don't know and people that we may know, whether they're our family, friends, old friends, family that are considered friends that are considered to be family, and etc. The point in this step here is to think before we do things that may whether be good or bad. But sometimes we got to be careful because sometimes we need to think about the consequences that are behind the actions or what kind of action that we are reinforcing. You know what I mean? Number three, create. Like I said in the previous step before about brainstorming, but there is a similar word that is called create. You know, while we growing intelligently, mentally, physically, and spiritually, we start to realize of how we can get off to a good start. And by doing so, we have to adapt to certainties of things that that we have to do, like being creative. You see people that whether you see people, right? Whether they're on TV or in person, they always seem to come up with ideas and they put it into use. Like take for instance, you see millionaires, you see business people, you see sports people. Well, they come up with ideas and then they put that into use. You know that you always do that. They always do that like that. And you know how they did it? When they are sleeping at night, they start to dream about how their ideas were going to work and how they were going to put it to use. Everything about that, everything about it, behind the action, starts with a dream. Once you start to dream, you start to create something that you have dreamed about. And after you're done, and no matter how many days it will take to get done, but it will be done in the right way, it will tell you that you've worked extremely hard on your creation and you put it into use. My suggestion is to make your dreams come true. Start creating your own stuff. Don't worry about the rest and what they're doing with their own stuff. Just worry about yours in your very own. All you got to do is congratulate them on their success and move on. And I'm sure they're going to do the same to you. Number 4, make big things happen. Now, every one of us has a vision and a plan to make big things happen. There's another expression that goes something like this: it's time to turn a nothing into a something. Well, in this life, and not only in this, but in humanity as well, we need to turn a nothing into a something. And once you have that mindset of doing that, my suggestion is here: make big things happen. Once you start to come, once you start to concentrate on the task, you will have the power to do big things and being a big help not just to others but also to yourself as well. And not only that, but your close ones as well. Just like, for example, you are representing your community and you want to make a big difference in your life. Not only that, but you want to make a big difference in your community and you want to be a big help to the people in your community and be a big help to your family as well. In this life, we have to make things happen. So in order to make a big difference in your life, a couple of words right here: make big things happen. And I'll say to the people in the back that don't hear it, make big things happen. Nothing Nothing big about it. Just make things happen. Make big things happen. Keep the focus, keep the momentum going in your favor, and keep driving to greatness. But I'll repeat it again: make big things happen. Real simple. And last but not least, be strong. When time like this gets worse, it's time to be strong and it's time to move forward with our lives. Like, take for example, if you see that someone is not doing good in life nor having a good week like you want to see someone else have, that's when you know that it's time. It's time to encourage them and tell them, keep your head up and stay strong. Not just for you, but be strong for others and help them overcome all adversity that is in your way. So I encourage you all of DJ Talk family to be strong and never give up. So you see, we need to learn to put the cause into the effect and the effect into the cause. Let me tell you guys something about how I had to learn about this life and how I had to put the cause into the effect. So here's what I would tell you guys. So this is my story. So when I was growing up, I knew that many things in life had to be earned because nothing was given. Believe me, everything that I see was earned. It was never given. My grandfather, like, take him for example, and rest in peace to my grandfather. My grandfather was a hard worker. He worked extremely hard to make sure that his family, and me being one of them, one of the family members of his, especially one out of five grandkids, or many more that he had. Anyway, he would be nothing more than a provider and a helper to all of us. And and not only that, but we would continue to push forward and keep keep going towards our destination and continue to rise above everything that would stand in our way, and not only that, but overcome all the odds that were stacked against us. And in my opinion, right, he was the most loved man that we have ever had in our lives. Not only that, he was one of the few that would fight for what he believed in. He was one of the few that would fight for what he stood for. He would never back down from anybody. He was original. He would never take anything for granted. And not in his life would he ever take anything for granted. I know I've said this a million times here, and you know what? I'm not ashamed to say it at all. As a matter of fact, in DJ Talk, we're going to keep saying it again and again and again. And I love saying it here. In DJ Talk, that's what it represents. And this is a true representation of DJ Talk. And this is why I'm going to say it. And it's going to help us keep moving. And it's going to help us go into distance. And it's going to help us get to our goals. And like I said before, and many times. If you can keep moving, you can keep moving. The biggest words ever, biggest inspiration in our lives. He was a great father, a terrific husband. Well, terrific husband to my grandmother, of course. And not only that, but previously, from way back then. And the best grandfather that anyone would ever ask for. Even though it hurts not having him here with us, and it truly does hurt not having him with us, but we will always remember him as the kind of person that he always has been to all of us, and especially my family and I. And he was a true definition of love and caring because he always cared about us and he always loved us. Well, and you may ask, what does this have to do with what we're talking about? So here's the answer is it's putting everything together. Like if he could do what he would do way back then, like I've seen them do. You remember when I told you guys about that he used to run where we were used to living and all that? He would run so fast and I was so surprised about it. He kept moving and he kept going. He never gave up. So he could if he could do that, so can we. Sometimes we all have to dig deep and keep pushing forward towards our destination. It's time to put the cause into the effect and the effect into the cause. That's what we have to do in our life. That's what we need to do in this life. Keep pushing, keep moving forward, never giving up. I see a lot of people out there that would say, I give up, I can't do it. Even though it may hurt sometimes to know that it may be harder for others. But for people that believe in themselves and never give up, would choose to keep going and never lose hope and never lose faith. Before I wrap this episode up, I would like to give everyone from DJ Talk family a piece of knowledge. Never lose hope. Never lose hope. You are worth it. And everything that you do, you are worth it. Don't let anybody ever take that away from you. So all I could say is, let's go and let's win together. So thank you guys for tuning in. And thank you for the love and support that I've received so long, not just in my channel, but in life in general. And I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And all I can say is, let's keep growing together and let's win together. Stay tuned for the next episode of DJ Talk. Peace. Stay positive and make an impact. Peace out. And have a good night.